We have about a week left of November, and then we will be turning into December, and November will be ending snowy, and we got another snowstorm we're going to be keeping an eye on in today's video. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. If you're new to the channel, be sure you hit the subscribe button down below and press the like button. It helps out more than you know. Going back to Monday on November 20th, where we had a tornado outbreak occur across Louisiana and to Mississippi. The storm survey teams were out there today and the day before, and we did see 10 tornadoes reported all told across Louisiana and south central Mississippi. That number could still grow, so we'll continue to keep an eye on that as we move forward. And even to yesterday, on the 21st of November, we had one reported tornado in southeastern Alabama. So all told, this entire severe weather outbreak did leave behind 11 tornadoes during that Monday and Tuesday timeframe on November 20th and 21st. Now looking ahead to today, that storm system is moving off of the East Coast. We have snow up in eastern Canada that is also starting to leave as well, and a very quiet weather pattern as we turn into our Wednesday today. High pressure working in across the middle of the country, so dry skies can be expected for the majority of southern Canada and the United States. Here's your total precipitation map where you see today there could be some leftover precipitation from Maine down through portions of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, maybe parts of the coastal Carolinas and Georgia. But other than that, really not seeing too much moisture moving in through the country. But we are gearing up for another storm system that will be moving into the Rockies and into the Central Plains as we end November. So we have winter storm watches posted for our local National Weather Service offices up into Wyoming and into portions of southern Montana in those teal shaded colors, and in the purple into Idaho and western Montana and even northeastern Nevada there. Those are winter weather advisories where we're gearing up for some snow up across those regions. So moving into Thanksgiving Day, that storm system will be traversing into the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies. A lot of snow can be expected across Wyoming, getting into northern Utah, parts of Idaho there, southern Montana, getting into northeastern Nevada. Some of that snow could be moving into portions of South Dakota and Nebraska as we go later into the day on Thanksgiving. Then as we go into Friday, this system will not be in a hurry to move, so it's going to be moving down into Colorado with more of that snow, western Nebraska, western Kansas, and perhaps even as far south on Friday as the Oklahoma and northwest Texas panhandle with some snowflakes as we go through the day on Friday. Overall, here are your snowfall totals or estimates as we move across the Rockies for today through this early part of the weekend on Saturday, November 25th. Several inches of accumulation is on the way, especially with those winter storm watches, which will likely be upgraded to winter storm warnings over the next 24 to 48 hours. That area into Wyoming, Colorado, getting into western Nebraska could be seeing upwards of 6 inches worth of snow as we go into this weekend. And then as we move through the weekend time frame, the system will move east across the mid-Missouri Valley, through the Illinois Valley, and parts of the southern Great Lakes. It will be losing its source of moisture as it does so, but we could be seeing a couple inches of snow, especially on the grassy surfaces as we go through this weekend. And some of that snow could be as far south as Oklahoma, the northern Texas panhandle, who knows, maybe even as far south as the Red River as we go into later on this weekend. And then that will turn more into a lake effect machine as we go into early next week. Looking at the temperatures this weekend, it's cold, folks. November will also end very cold as well. So not only snowy, but we have cold air moving in. This is on Saturday. Here's your high temperatures. Pick your spot on the map. Coldest temperatures will be, of course, where it's snowing over there into the Central Plains and the Northern Plains there. And then look at Saturday night. That freezing line goes all the way south, not quite to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, but very close. We're talking Wichita Falls. We're talking Midland, Texas, even the Abilene region getting down below freezing on Saturday night. widespread single digits and teens across the north central United States for Saturday night and waking up for your Sunday morning. And we're only going to rebound into the 20s and 30s for those regions. So it's going to be a chilly weekend ahead. It's feeling much more like November as we end the last weekend of November and moving into the last full week of November here into next week. We have the cold air that will be persisting across the eastern United States as we go from Monday, November 27th through the opening stage of December on Friday, December 1st there. And we're just going to see that cold air be pronounced by this trough across the Great Lakes region. You can see on Monday, it's sitting over the Great Lakes in southeastern Canada. It gets stronger as it pushes into the northeast and New England by the middle of next week and kind of hangs around as we go through that first time frame on December. So definitely seeing that trough, creating some colder temperatures for our northern states and our eastern states as we end the month of November. But it will turn drier. So besides that snow system we're keeping a track of as we go through the weekend and early next week, that's it. We're just seeing not much precipitation across the country unless you're near southern Texas, the Gulf Coast, or the southeast. That is where we see above normal precipitation during that period. And that is amplified, of course, by that subtropical jet that is across the southern United States, bringing in all of that Pacific moisture as we go through next week. Looking at the ensembles here, this is the European ensemble guidance, the EPS. You can see very dry across the Pacific Northwest up here for Seattle and Portland. I know it's been very active recently. Earlier on in November, we will be drying out for quite a bit of time next week. Also downstream across the eastern two-thirds of the country and even southeastern Canada will be drying out as well. You'll have to go all the way toward the Rio Grande Valley, the Gulf Coast, and even Florida to see above normal precipitation next week. And that is holding true with even more of the ensemble guidance. This is the American ensemble guidance, the GEFS, and it does agree as well. So drier weather and quieter weather is on the way for the end of November once we get past our snowstorm through this weekend and early next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for detailed weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics when tropical weather season does move in again next year especially. And also press the like button down below. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their week out there.